Hi, I'm Daniel's son. I'm going to share some didgeridoo with you today and play you some music, and hopefully it'll be a nice journey.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks again for listening. There's just a little tune in there for thank you, Daniel, and that was kind of a cool little introduction to Debbz Den today. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to play a little bit more music for you here in a little bit. We're going to have some guitar, a few songs once we get to know Daniel here a little bit, and then we're going to come back to the didgeridoo for our meditation, so stick around. So, welcome to Jess FM, Daniel.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you here today. I'm just wondering if you can give me a little information about you, a little bit of background. Who is Daniel's son?
Okay, there's a long and a short answer. We'll go with the short.
Yeah, we only have an hour, so.
I am a lifelong seeker of truth, healer, have an interest in all kinds of things. Been a martial arts teacher for many decades, done a lot of yoga pursuits, plant medicines out on the coast, and I was probably one of Alberta's first male Reiki masters.
Oh, wonderful. I know Reiki's pretty big here. There's a lot of very powerful people in Lethbridge and area, and I know I've been interested. It's very, very spiritual, very connecting.
It was my beginning. I wouldn't say it's the meat and potatoes of what I'm up to now.
No.
But it's definitely a part of it.
It's a place to start. It is.
It's
Definitely is.
Sure.
So I guess what my real interest is where did you get started with the didgeridoo? And can you tell us a little bit about the didgeridoo?
Sure. So I was asked to come to a didgeridoo sound healing by a really famous, on the coast at least, famous guy named Shine Edgar. I hadn't heard of him, nor had I even heard of a didgeridoo. But my friend put on this healing in her living room, and I thought I had nothing better to do. I'll go check it out. And anyway, it was a life-changing experience. He was a very powerful master healer, right from the outback of Australia. And he grew up there, and he grew up around the didgeridoo, and he played the didgeridoo, and he sang and chanted and played the shruti box and did all kinds of sound healing things. And that was my first exposure. And it was such a powerful experience. I felt almost like I was weightless and levitating off the floor. And I said, that's for me. So a year later, I went to Australia for a month.
I seen some pictures of that on your Facebook
Yeah.
there, and I was thought, wow, I'd like to know a little bit more about the didgeridoo. And what is it made of?
So a lot of them are made of eucalyptus, and there may be actually some other woods that are native to the outback, but I'm not familiar with. But a lot of them are eucalyptus, and they fall on the ground. And termites and ants basically eat them, eat the middles out of them. And the didgeridoo players, the Aboriginal teachers, they come and they pick one. And then I think they use heat to finish hollowing it out, and then they make a beeswax mouthpiece, and they paint their traditional art on it. And it's the oldest man-made musician in the world that anybody can date. And it's also part of their Dreamtime meditation and their communication and their storytelling. So it goes back as far as the original people do.
Yeah, I did a little bit of background on it too, and I found that they said that it was a 5,000-year-old instrument, which is pretty. That's going back a long way.
At least, probably, yeah.
Yeah, and also that it was from the tree, the eucalyptus tree, that they basically considered it made by God. It was naturally made because they really wait for the termites to eat the rest of the inside of that tree out before they even start. The instrument is made by the termites, and then they come in and then they just, like you said, burn it out, and
make it fit their mouth.
And then it comes out. Like, I wonder who was the first one that said, I'm going to blow through this stick full of termites.
Well, primal sound is in many old traditions. We find it in every corner of the earth, and of course every one of those traditions has a divine intervention story with the gods and things being passed to them by ancestors and gods and light beings. So I don't really know who picked up the first didgeridoo, but it may have been somebody who had seen a different, similar instrument played. Because obviously, we go back, humanity on this planet go back a lot farther than what we're taught. So.
Absolutely, I believe that too, and that's something I could talk a lot about, is that, the origins, and because I think that the didgeridoo kind of has almost not so much eerie sound, but maybe a little bit eerie, but it's like a different frequency that we're used to here, that we listen to.
There's no two didgeridoos sound the same unless they're mass-produced and exactly the same, but no natural didgeridoos, no two sound the same. So
yeah, it would be impossible when it's carved out with bugs.
So the player has his own voice and the didge has its own voice, and so you have two voices coming through at any given time.
Well, I absolutely love, I know I've been at meditation with you before, and you've come through with meditation with us at the Spiritualist Center. We had a meditation, and hopefully we'll have you back and have you in to intertune you.
One of my favorite things to do is move people with sound, whether it's dance or music or emotion or didgeridoo.
Right.
But that's probably one of my favorite things.
It is. It's amazing. Like, I know last week we did a dance thing, and that was pretty moving too. But
powerful.
It was. That was fun. I really enjoyed that.
That's what I was into on the coast for years, and I was worried when I came back to Alberta I would have a hard time finding it. So thank you, Kylie Dawn, if you ever hear this.
Yes, thank you, Kylie Dawn. That was amazing.
Yeah, for doing what you do. It's conscious dance and alcohol-free fun zone are important.
It is. I mean, like, we were there for quite a few hours, from 7:30 till 10, and we did a dance with meditation for $25, and to be in that environment where you can just let go and just dance and just have up a relief of energy and a release and share is so nice to have those places that we have in Lethbridge. Where
it's a side goal for me to get that more in Lethbridge.
Yeah.
A more regular dance happening, and I haven't met the actual community of dancers yet, so we'll see.
Oh, well,
We'll see how it unfolds.
I think that we've got a few people that are interested in doing it. I know Roger Metz was here a couple weeks ago, and he's just got back from Bali, and he's been doing some interesting stuff, and hopefully he'll be thinking of doing some sort of dance stuff too, and maybe we can all get together. Have you checked Meetup?
No, I haven't done anything. I just arrived
Okay.
back here, been just with my family, my grandkids. I'm not even really landed yet. So,
So you're actually originally from where?
well, I was born in Alberta, but I grew up on the East Coast,
Okay.
in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia.
Oh, so you're from like Nova
And
Scotia.
then, found my birth mom out here in my early 20s and came out to Lethbridge to meet
Wow.
her. And, yeah,
Do you miss the coast?
I miss both coasts. Yeah, I do, but I also have more reason to be here with two little grandbabies. So.
Oh, and they're just beautiful. I've seen
Yeah,
pictures, and it's
yeah.
just, it's beautiful to see
Yeah,
that.
it's miraculous.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Who would have ever thought they were going to be a grandparent?
Yeah, I know. It's, my granddaughter's going to be 4 this year, so.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is. And no matter where you are and how beautiful the place is, I think really your sanctuary is when you're happy inside, and that's when you're surrounded by the people you love.
Yeah, and I do miss the ocean, but I grew up around it. I lived around it lots, and I'm a big boy. I can manage.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. That's fabulous to hear, actually. Also, so you've been kind of traveled from coast to coast then, you said, because I thought you said you were from Vancouver.
I'm a traveling Wilbury, the true sense of the one. I'm an Air Force brat, traveled all my age. All my youth we moved, and then I started moving. I've moved 30 odd times.
Wow.
So.
That's a man of the world here is what we got.
At least a man of the coast.
Well, it's going down to Australia and stuff too.
Well,
and
that was a one-off, but yeah, that was amazing. That was an amazing walkabout, as they say.
And life is an experience, and where we're always learning. So
Absolutely.
different people have different ways of different vibration.
And the more you learn, the more you recreate and reinvent yourself. And I've gone through a complete transformation from where I started. So.
And that's another question I like to ask: is what was your inspiration for doing this this journey to music?
Well, I transitioned to music not too many years ago. I did a serious martial art practice for many years. It started off as traditional Wei-Churu karate, and I got my 2nd degree black belt in that form, and then I just branched out and learned all kinds of things. But I had some injuries that kept coming back and haunting me, and I realized I can't do this for a profession. And I was kind of without any identity for a while. I was lost. Well, if I'm not going to be that, then after all these years, then who am I? But I always had this nagging in the back of my head about music. I picked up the guitar and put it down a few times. And then out in the coast, I got involved in ayahuasca. I got involved in ceremonial type plant medicine journeys with really high level musicians.
Wow.
And they inspired me, and the medicine inspired me, and the voice of the medicine inspired
That's
me.
why it's kind of creepy when you listen to that didgeridoo. It feels like it's pulling you up and taking you away.
I truly feel like there's a part of me that's a channel for a muse that's guiding me from spirit now.
Right.
And especially when I let go and I just let the music come through me, I think it was, I'll put it to you this way, I think it was gifted to me so that I could gift it. And, and so I'm attempting. I mean, obviously, as a musician, you've got to do some catch up. You've got to have skills. You've got to work.
You got to work at it.
You got to work at it, and I'm getting better all the time. But I do believe that the spirit comes through for sure.
I did see a thing on Facebook today that said that a musician, the difference between a good musician and a bad and a not as good musician is that a good musician has made way more mistakes.
Well, that's inevitable.
Yeah.
That is inevitable, and especially when you get to a point, because I plateaued, and I had okay music pretty quick, but I plateaued to a point where, okay, now to get better, I have to learn a completely new set of skills. And from that point on, that's where you find out what you're made of. Because, like with the didgeridoo, people can play it up until they get to the circular breathing part. And the people who persist and get through that end up playing didgeridoo for the rest of their lives. But most people, I would say 8 out of 10, that's when they put it down. So.
Well, for me, it looks like a lot of wind needed to. That's a big pipe there.
It's one long, continuous breath.
Wow.
Yeah.
like I've been a scuba diver, so I know that the consistency of breathing in and out is like life or death, really.
Absolutely.
So I think that would kind of help with having that continuous, but
Well, you know, right now, whether
it makes
it's
me wanna-
pranayama or I forget his name, but there's a man who's really famous right now, German, with a German name, Wolf somebody. But anyway, he's teaching a breathing technique. Breathing is in vogue right now. People know that to oxygenate yourself is life. And so this is another form of pranayama. Like playing a didgeridoo and circular breathing for a period of time is super oxygenating to your body. So that's another benefit.
Yeah, I've actually, I know at the Spiritual Center at 425 11th Street South, they kind of sponsor me, so I always like to mention them. But Dana Rust does a breathing meditation on Mondays at 5:30, from 5:30 till 7. And I did that, and I was like, I could barely get off the floor. I was like, oh, I could, and all we did was breathe in and out. But then deep breathe for like an hour, though. And after an hour of deep, I was like transformed.
Yeah, you break through those barriers,
break
and then all of a sudden you're in a completely new
Like it
state of being.
it was transforming.
Yeah,
and
so this is the same when but you get the
Yes.
sound and you get the creativity too. So you get the whole benefit of all that.
And I know that from the first, that was a couple years ago, I think 3 years ago, I think 2017 maybe, that I first met you, when you came in and did a didgeridoo during our meditation with Jade's Alchemy. And I felt that, like I absolutely felt the energy from the didgeridoo going through me, and I thought, that you were definitely a gifted channeler, because it felt like you were doing a channeling and a
All
clearing.
channelers are gifted.
Yeah.
I mean,
It is a gift,
it's
isn't
a
it?
gift. It's not anything. It's not
Yeah.
anything to brag about. It's just,
But
it's,
it's an acknowledgement.
I give myself credit for showing up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my courage that I show up.
Yeah.
And for an introverted person, it took a lot for me to even. I mean, my knees knocked and my hands wouldn't work the first time I tried to play for a group of people. So this isn't. This has been my work to get to the point where I can play in front of people.
Well, that's great. So, what time? You know what? I think, how about we try, do you want to try a guitar?
Yeah, we'll try a song.
Let's,
We apologize if it doesn't sound good because we haven't got a sound check on the mics.
Yeah, I'm
But
Deb.
we'll try
and
it.
This is Debbz Den, and we're on Just FM, Just TV. We're live right now on YouTube. If you want to check it out, you can always catch us back on YouTube. If you can't find it, you go under Just TV with the Canada flag, and then under playlists you'll find Debbz Den, and we'll find Daniel's on there. But I'm going to have Daniel now play us a tune on the guitar, and stay tuned in. We're going to have a chat, and then we're going to go back to the didgeridoo, if that's okay.
Yeah, I guess we'll
we'll
see
have a
how it
little
all
bit.
flows. For
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so we'll have a tune, and we'll be right back. I'm going to step out for it. I'm going to give him the scene, and I'll be right with you. Thanks.
Now, let's hope that the sound is okay. We'll find out. And bring these a little bit up to us here. Life is what we make it, call it good or bad, and our perceptions are all we really have. So listen, listen, close your eyes and listen. There is a silence deep inside us all. And when we really learn to listen, we hear its call. So listen, listen, close your eyes and listen. We were put here by love, and all lives need love. Oh, love is how we heal. Love is all that's real. So listen, listen. Just close your eyes and listen. We're all a family, and we're weaved by the light. And we know that love is, oh, the essence of life. So listen, listen. Just close your eyes and listen. 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 Just close your eyes and listen to the sound of love.
Wow, that's just pretty amazing. Love that. It feels very connecting.
It's a good warm up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's kind of gentle, but you know the message in it alone. Still got my headphones in. The message of it alone is really, where we're coming from,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, just try to get a simple message in a song. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to have a seat again? Are we good?
Sure.
Yeah, I like the didgeridoo thing there, so I'm going to maybe have, I love the guitar. I'm glad you played the guitar bit there. And is that an original song?
Yep, all my songs are original.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. It's quite the melody, quite the sweet little melody.
Yeah, the idea is to make it a little bit more meditative by not making it jump around too much, so that if I play 4 or 5 songs in a row like that, a person should be able to get into a zone, and I'm not
Right.
going to change it up too much to knock them out of the zone. So it's part of sound healing to play like that for me. Yeah.
Sound healing, that's another thing. What is sound healing?
Well, it's a recognition that, of course, the oldest text in the world says that all is just Om. Om being the primordial source, first intention, sound. And everything else is made of Om. Everything is made of sound
A
waves.
vibrational sound.
Vibration, yeah. Frequency, vibration, sound. And so sound healing is basically recognizing that each person's body, mind, and soul has a harmony to it or a disharmony to it at any given time. Each chakra has its own tone. Everything about us has a song. Our organs all have their own sounds. And then there's like the inorganic and the organic. So sound healing is taking organic sounds and using them to re-harmonize the system of the person receiving the sounds. And allow them to go into a deep meditation or an emotional release, whatever it is they need, physical healing, whatever can come from being in harmony.
Well, I've seen things like in China where they're saying chants, and they actually had a woman on there where she had, on one screen they had the tumor of cancer, and on the next screen they had watching the tumor of cancer shrink.
Sure.
And they were just chanting a sound. There was 3 doctors chanting the sound together, and they were saying to be healed in whatever language, Chinese, whatever the language was. It was saying be healed. And then right at the end, when they could see that the cancer was actually shrinking, within 3 minutes the cancer had shrunk in front of everybody on film. And when it was just about shrunk, they started chanting now in Chinese, whatever that is. I just know that, and it completely healed with just sound.
Yeah, well, that's why they say our thoughts make us well or make us ill, because thoughts are just sounds.
Wow.
They're absolutely just vibrational frequency with intention.
Mm-hmm.
And,
so
that's
it's
how it is.
really important that that sound that you let play in your head, that sound that you're thinking, those songs you let playing in your head, are songs that are actually raising your vibration, that are healthy for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening to music that is, fun but not raising your vibration, but lowering your vibration, it's keeping you on that level.
And there's
right?
a whole conspiracy
Keeping you.
behind why the music is at 440 and not at 432.
But they switched that after
Sure,
in the early 1930s.
I mean,
was
most
it?
of the
40s?
music that we're exposed to is disharmonizing us.
Mhm.
And so then it takes a person to try to counteract that with some music that's got the natural tones back in it.
Like the 432 even.
Yeah, 432 is the most common guitar tuning that you can get to that will create a beautiful spectrum of geometry, where 440 will just create chaos.
And it's like they are intentionally sending out 440 for us, like intentionally.
They know better. That's all I can say is, I mean, people might argue, well, we've just been doing it for so long that it's just what music is, but they know better. They know how frequency and sound work on, and they know that we respond to it. So,
like Big Pharma, and they're not wanting us to be well because that would just be money out of their pocket.
There's a lot of elite, whatever you want to call it. I don't like that word because they don't deserve it. But there are a lot of very powerful entities on this planet that are really working against us in many ways, and sound is one of their main tools. So
I believe that that's been going on since the beginning of time on this planet too, that there is a race that really wants to just have this planet.
yeah, it might
And
be more than one race. It could be just a group of really selfish beings who have sold themselves out a long time ago. Whatever, there's so many theories around it, but the truth is it's everywhere. You see it in our food, in our chemtrails, in our education system, in the medical system, in the forced vaccination programs. This is all just self-evident that we're being attacked by somebody.
And I think that it also shows that we're more than just humans here. We've actually got spirit, and we've got good spirit and the principalities of good and evil.
And we're multidimensional, so we have aspects of us looking into this realm with all kinds of other powers and ideas that we're not even in our little ego minds privy to.
Yeah,
So.
well, and that's the thing is that when you start studying this and opening these books, like David Icke, he's got a lot of, I actually watched a show on him on the Didgeridoo last night and on the Big Pharma, and what their plan is definitely not, like even with the vaccinations, I was watching with the vaccinations and how it's almost, these are supposed to be making our children healthy and safe. But the record doesn't show so.
No, and I mean, Merck is fighting court battles right now, 4 that I know of, because of people being hurt, damaged, and lied to. So,
And children dying,
I mean,
actually, too.
yeah, oh yeah, I worked in pediatrics. I saw it firsthand.
Did you?
I saw the damage, and I saw the excuses that were being made to call it anything except vaccine damage because there's so much money involved. It's sad.
Yeah, and
But
it's...
people are waking up. People are fighting back. You can see that. They're trying to force people into all this with all these threats of abandonment and fines and this and that and the other. And people are saying, it doesn't matter what you do to me. It's my body, my choice. Bottom line.
It is, but, at some point we have to, and that's a little bit why I wanted to talk about it a little bit today, about the vaccinations, because I do believe that they are trying to alter the power of us humans.
Well, yeah, because there's a awakening. If anyone hasn't heard, there's an ascension happening, and our
2012.
DNA is being weaved back the way it was meant to be by the solar codes and the light beings and our own efforts. And it's all very natural until you start messing with it, and it's being messed with in a big
I
way.
definitely agree, and I do believe that the ascension started in 2012. From what I know, a lot of people, when they're saying, everything was, things started to change in my life, things kind of went to shit or whatever because of things And I'm like, well, did that start happening around 2012?
Well, for some people, it was a big
That's when
milestone.
I think that's a lot of
There were a lot of
times-
people on the path
yeah.
for decades before that who
Oh.
were shocked that 2012 wasn't more than it was. So it's
I
really...
think it was big, and that there's a lot more, like Wayne Dreyer, Louise Hay, people like that who've been really out there working at trying to get people to wake up. And that's kind of what Debbz Den is about, too, is getting people to wake up, you know.
Yeah, and it's an ongoing thing. Obviously, Mother Earth does her part. We're part of that. And then we have these beings that think Mother Earth is an inert property, and they do everything they can to make sure that they're always in charge of it. And it's an interesting thing, because if they weren't here, ascension would probably be very natural.
Well, I think ascension's going to happen, like it or not. I think
Yes,
that we are
yes.
all going to become more telepathic, more like, you know, we're going to have our sense back. Like you said, the awakening of our DNA is going to evolve us as
It's
humans.
going to awaken the heart, which to me is the most important power.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, other things will manifest for us as we become higher frequency, but our hearts will open.
And I think, you know, when you think of a baby, when a baby's just being developed in the womb, the baby starts off as a heartbeat. Like, that's the first thing. It's not the brain, it's the heart. And I know with my meditations and things that we've been doing this year, it has really been about sinking into the heart and really feeling things coming from that heart space, rather than letting your mind think and everything coming from what you're thinking. It's starting to be like, but what are you feeling instead? And your heart's more honest to you, because your heart will tell you the truth. Your mind will play games.
You know, the heart is one with everything. It can't not be.
Yeah.
So it's really us learning how to reside and trust and have faith in our hearts. And every time we don't, we're going to get a lesson around it.
Oh.
And that's the way it goes.
Yeah. So if you ask for strength, you know, you might get something heavy put on you to make you strong. If you ask for courage, well, you might get things that scare you to make you brave. So I always tell people to make sure that you ask for guidance and whatever, you know.
And ease and grace, because you're going to grow anyway. You're going to go through it. You know, that's
We're all going through it.
Yeah, nature's going to do what nature's going to do, and we're part of that. But we also have a certain amount of power to make it a different kind of a ride.
Yeah.
So...
And, you know, I think that, you know, having YouTube is a wonderful way to even, you know, find those paths that we need to go to.
Well, if it weren't for YouTube, the world wouldn't be as woke as it is.
Right.
And we probably have long ago been enslaved and put into boxes that we could never get out of. So thank God for YouTube. It's imperfect, but it's the last frontier of an alternative idea. So thank God for YouTube.
Yes, and it's just about, you know, looking about anything you want to find out about is right at your fingertips. And it's, you know, it's still got to take it with a grain of judgment, because who knows, anybody, you know, you have to really feel what's inside and feel, does that resonate with me? Are they telling me the truth?
It's a discernment exercise.
Yeah.
And even though, and you may find that sacred cows that got you through decades turn out to be untruth eventually, because you're ready for the next level.
Oh,
So-
sacred cows. Well, I think they're trying to cut that cow thing down, because
Well,
you know, like, you
this
don't
is-
want cow farts going on, so.
Well, it's just the best way to say that even beliefs that seemed really solid can sometimes, when you're ready, go up in smoke.
Yeah. So don't always think because you hear something that you need to follow somebody else's belief pattern. Look it up for yourself and see what resonates with you.
Yeah. Ultimately, you're your own guru. The
Yeah.
day the guru is over, we're helping each other, holding each other up,
And that's what we're
reflecting
doing.
mirrors to each other, and ultimately, we're just one being. So
That was an interesting thing to say, reflecting mirrors, because a lot of times when somebody disturbs you, you got to thank them, because they're actually showing you what's wrong with you. And right away, you're like, when people are quick to judge other people, yeah, maybe they just, maybe you should think about that a little bit and see how that actually makes you feel and own it.
yeah, I mean, the higher teachers and the higher teachings and the higher understandings are about self-responsibility and creating, you know, your own life, and all the experiences in your life are based on a connected sequence of choices you've already made. And when you sit in that energy of I create my life, there's no more reason to judge or blame or get upset about others. But until then, they're going to trigger you.
It's amazing that, sometimes it takes the worst things in life to make us...
I have a song about that.
Do you?
I definitely do.
Well, maybe I'm going to have you come back,
Yeah,
because
that's
I'm going to want to have a little bit more didgeridoo going
Okay,
here.
yeah.
But I know that I read that usually to keep that going for even 10 minutes is a long time.
It depends on the situation. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
wind and it's air, so even for me to tilt it up a little bit to get the mic, so I'm losing a little bit of control over what I can do.
Right.
And and each didge is different. These ones here, which I carry because they're lightweight.
Mhm.
I mean, this is a big hole with a big opening in it, so it takes a lot more air to keep it going.
Wow. I know that it has a beautiful sound. And I think that, let's get back to doing that. Do you want to
Okay,
get
well,
back?
yeah, sure.
Okay, so we're going to do a meditation. Debbz Den has a meditation at the end of every show. And we're going to start the meditation now. But instead of me leading a meditation, I'm going to let the music go. And what was the intention that you would like to go with it? Do you have a didgeridoo song here? You want to talk about what you would want people to think and feel
Well,
as
I
this
think
plays?
just remember that the rhythms are in tune with the earthly rhythm, that our hearts beat in tune with a great orchestra of life. And when you're listening to the didgeridoo, you just basically want to let the waves fall on you and into the earth, and then you can kind of melt and ground into the earth.
Okay.
And consider yourself part of Mother Earth while you're listening.
Consider yourself, so that means ground
Not that you're
yourself
not anyway, you
Yeah,
are,
we are
but you can
part
be more conscious of it in that moment.
of the collective flow.
Yeah.
One thing I always like to do is also have people, if you can go through the meditation part, the last part of my show here tonight, if you could possibly think to yourself over and over, I forgive everyone for everything. I forgive myself for allowing myself to feel like a victim. And then I love myself.
Mhm.
And just say those 3 lines over and over. I forgive everyone for everything. I forgive everyone for everything. Say that over and over for 4 times. And then I forgive everyone, or I forgive myself for everything. I forgive myself for allowing myself to feel like a victim. If you can say that 4 times. And then open up again. In the last part of as we're cooling down, I want you to just repeat after. And when the song starts to cool down, we'll just go with, I love myself. Taking a deep breath in, taking the music in, and saying, I love myself. And when you do that, we're going to raise some vibrations here on Debbz Den today. Thank you for listening to Just FM. And I'm going to let Danielson now take it away with the didgeridoo.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we can't love ourselves too much. There's no such thing. And I don't mean that from an egoic place. To the degree that we love ourselves, that's what we've got to offer.
to go for the next will be I Forgive Myself.
Sorry about interrupting that. That's not what I meant to do. I thought
Okay.
we were done.
Well, we got 10 minutes, so
Oh, okay.
we'll go for, if you can.
Or we could play another song.
Okay, you can play another song. That would be good.
Okay, maybe
Thank
I'll do
you.
that.
Oh, okay. Do you want to come in for this one?
If you like.
Okay.
Let's see what we're going to play here.
Okay, we're going to have you talk right into them mics there, and I'll give you that cover, and we'll sit there with that.
Let's see.
We can have some about self-love.
Yeah, and about recognizing the I am in all of us, the one and the all. So
Yeah,
that's what
we need.
that's
It's
what this song is
recognizing
about.
The one. The I.
The I am.
I am.
Well, I may be a simple man, but this is not a simple plan. I am. I am. And in this now I find my place, my father's love, my mother's grace. I am. I am. And I have all I need to be. Creation lives inside of me. I am. I am. That I am. It's about love, yo, and love loves to love, and all love is one love, and I am. I am. And I am you, and you are me. There's only one I am, you see. I am. I am. That I am. I am life, and so are you. And I see only love when I look at you. There I am. I am. That I am. Da 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 da. I am. Da 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 shall become, I am. Apologize, I should have worked on my nails a little bit before.
Oh, no, it sounded wonderful. I'm just mesmerized by that. That is a meditation type in itself. That really
Yeah,
feels...
so I like to string 4 or 5 of them together like that without disrupting each other, and then,
Right.
you know, a person can just, that's beautiful acoustic music, and just be with that. Yeah.
So, if somebody wants to hear some of your music, where are they going to find you?
Well, they can look up Daniel Sun, S-U-N, on YouTube. I have 8 songs on there. And also there's another one on there called Servants of Om, which I did with my brother Lance out on Gabriola Island, which is got a lot more instruments in it, and got gongs and harps and
We're going to have to
didgeridoo.
tag that along to the show if you don't mind.
Yeah, so it's called Servants of Om, and I don't know if it'll come up there easily in the search. I find people tell me they can't find me, but I'm also on Facebook, Daniel space Sun, S-U-N, and you can reach me that way. And you can get my email from
Yeah.
Lynn too, so
Okay, good.
either or.
So, do you do, like if somebody wanted to maybe have you come and do a demonstration of the didgeridoo, would you be available for anything like that?
I do, and I do sound healing with it. There's a thing called a sound bath that's very popular on the coast in South America in hippie circles. And didgeridoo's a
Hippies
power.
are fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just a word. But didgeridoo healing is how I got into it, and I'm always happy to give somebody a sound bath, and it moves your energy. If you're stuck,
Right.
the didgeridoo will send that energy.
Right.
Yeah.
I always feel like I just didn't get enough of that didgeridoo. Like it
Yeah.
felt
Well,
like it was
I got when I learned to play it because I felt that way too.
Yeah, I just feel like, wow, I could listen to that all day.
Yeah, and to lay there and have someone play it into your system, you literally can float off the floor almost. You
Well,
know,
that's
it's-
what I experienced when we were at the meditation,
Yeah.
and I really felt that connection to the didgeridoo or to the music going through me.
Yeah, playing it in ceremony, I've had people tell me amazing things that they've experienced under the with the plant medicine and the didgeridoo.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, it's a little trippy.
Yeah, and
if you
and-
allow yourself
and
to
you
do
know,
that, and the freedom of allowing.
It's beautiful to take those journeys and to land back in your body, and wow, I went on a trip without leaving the farm. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
it's quite fun.
I love that. Meditation is great. Oh, by the way, at 425 11th Street South today, there will be meditation at 5:30 with Jade's Alchemy, and that's always fun.
Yeah.
You
Singing bowls are beautiful. They're powerful
Yeah.
movers of energy too. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
sound is, as we talked about earlier, it is everything.
You know, I think that is one of the 5 basic needs that people need to in life, along with food, air, you know, sleep.
Yeah, yeah. Movement
movement and
sound.
music.
Yeah, and music, absolutely.
It really is important. So are you in Lethbridge here now, and you're planning on staying for a while?
Yeah, I'm going to
Settling
try
in?
to get grounded. I just got hired on as a temp to do some labor here and there in the city, and
Oh, good.
and I'm going to do my sound work and try to find places to share music. Yeah.
Well, you know, this is an amazing place. This weekend I'll be going to a sweat lodge in Lethbridge, or in Champion, at Joanne Bean's Sleeping Buffalo Lodge. That would be a fun place to have to come, and if you have a chance to come out there.
I'm
That
free
would
on
be-
Sunday.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, Champion's only 45 minutes from Lethbridge, and it's a nice little jaunt out there. And you know, we do 4 hours of sweat lodge, so they do the rounds, and then we have a potluck.
Anything's possible. I have an open vista. I basically shifted into a whole new chapter of life by coming back here. I closed some chapters out there. I will never ever be able to express how much love I have for the islands and the coast.
Yeah.
But my family's here and I'm here, and Lethbridge is waking. And,
Lethbridge
and
has been awake for a long
well,
time.
it's process, right? But it's just good to come here now and see the change.
Like, I remember being, 13, 14, and getting very involved with vibration and feeling the presence of God, I guess you could say. really feeling that movement, and that was like 40 years ago.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
been a while.
Yeah, I've been
and-
on the path a long time
Mhm.
too, but I guess that's why I notice how much
It's
fire is under the belly of it all now.
Mhm.
You know, there's no putting it out.
Well, that's what Debbz Den is all about, and thank you for watching Debbz Den. That here, always bringing in different guests each week, and you can find me on debbzden.com. That has most of my information, and if you want to get a hold of me, I am Deb Nickel on Facebook, and Debbz Den is my webpage. Debbz Den, Angel Empowerment Practitioner. That is what I do. You'll find me at the Spiritualist Center at 425 11th Street South at 7 p.m. on Sundays is when we meet. It's a nonprofit organization. We will be having a reading sessions coming up on May 7th. If anybody wants to come in and have some mediumship, and we're going to have a market and stuff like that, we'd love to see you down there and raise your vibration, and maybe we'll have you come in and play some music for us.
I'm always happy to share my music. And if
Awesome.
people are willing to listen, I'm willing to play. That's the
Okay.
bottom line.
I'll talk to
So,
Cynthia over at the center there, and I'll get you in. I
Thank
know
you.
you've
Thanks
already
for
been
having
there.
me today.
You're
I
welcome.
was nervous. I've never done this before in a
Mhm.
setting like this, and you know, we played by the seat of our pants, and here we are at the other end of it. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't it fly by?
it does.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
It flies by. Every week I always wonder, like, what are we going to... No, I don't wonder because I know. But I have people come in and they're like, it's only an hour.
I just hope that the sound carried okay with the setup we have, and I'll play it back
Yeah.
and listen, and we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see how it went.
I am the producer of my own show, and I do everything myself, so I'm sorry if there's anything that isn't great, and, you know...
We'll learn.
yeah, I'm learning.
When you know better, you do better. We'll learn.
And also help. You know, if I had a little bit more help, and but I do produce the show on my own, and so
Yeah.
yep, it's all my fault. It's not right.
Su-
I'll take it.
I'm sure it's okay.
But you know what? I'm trying, and I'm gonna be at some point. I'll be standing back and going through and breaking these up into smaller videos, and that's why I like to do the introductions
Mhm.
before you start playing.
Mhm.
So, do you think you can play us out
Sure.
with the didgeridoo a little
Sure.
bit?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to say bye, and thanks for watching Jess FM this week, and we're going to take you out and let the Daniel Son play us one more tune as we head off into the Thursday evening here in downtown Lethbridge on Jess FM, Lethbridge's favorite radio show. Have a good night.